What's going on, everybody? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, and this is my end of the year address that I do every year where I go over everything Leo King, everything astrology about the end of this year and where I believe 2015 is going. And the first thing I want to start off with saying is thank you so much for the support. And I can never say thank you enough, because really doing this as a job, doing this as a living, is quite an experience. It's uncharted water because with technology, with YouTube, and now that I've developed apps and with media, it really is uncharted water going with astrology with this. Astrology has always been so, I don't know, diminished in a way or kind of sidelined. And I feel that I have a real big opportunity in the world to bring it forth in a better light, in a more exciting light, and to show how powerful it really is, and that it is the connection of the universe that is so important in achieving your greatest goals, in achieving your true consciousness as well. And that's the message that I preach, and that's the message that I feel needs to be out there in the world. So I thank you for being with me for 5.5 years. It was 5.5 years ago that I started putting videos on YouTube. And it blows my mind on where 5.5 years can go. But, you know, as we come into this year, 2015 is at the end of a very intense cycle. So the good news about 2015 is it is ending probably one of the biggest astrological alignments that we will ever live through in our life. And it's not the easiest one, it's a tough one. It's that Pluto-Uranus square that, you know, the last time was around during the late 1920s into 30s, which, you know, people that, you know, have passed went through. So, and some of our older grandparents went through it, or older people have went through it in the 1920s, but they were usually born at that period. So you almost have to talk to the people who were, you know, aware during that time, that were born in the late 1800s, and a lot of those people aren't around anymore. So the experience we've gone through is very hard to relate with in the world that we are grown up to live in. You know, it's like always supposed to be perfect. The job's supposed to go right. The relationships are supposed to go right. You know, we're supposed to like live in this, you know, kind of energy where we're not used to having to go through such extreme emotional, mental, psychological shift points. And it started in 2012, and I think it's so funny to see the significance of the Mayan calendar in 2012, the significance of this extreme Pluto-Uranus square, the significance of technology reaching a huge breaking point at that time, and how this last 3 years truly has been about learning to go through extreme radical change in your perception of yourself, in your conscious awareness, and how your mind, your body, your soul work. Because really, this is a time in our lives where the universe is shifting, but it's the universe from where we're at now. You know, our perspective of these things. And it's kind of weird because as human beings and as a soul here on this planet and in this reality, it really is about our perspective of life and our understanding of what is happening. And so this is a magical time for this position and to be here at this time. And I think when you really look at where you're at, there's no other place in the universe to be that has this exact alignment. Because as an astrologer, not only am I going to look at the universal or the galactic alignments, but I'm going to look at the Earth position alignment. And that's really what it's about. And this position to be here on this Earth at this time is powerful. Jumping on another planet in another galaxy might just be boring right now. So I feel that's why this is such a magical time to be here. And there's no coincidence that you're here right now during this time to ascend into your positivity and to go into the light and to go into the power of who you are. This is that time. But 2015 really is the end of this cycle. By the spring, the Pluto-Uranus square will end. So the good news is I feel that after the spring of 2015, people are going to start to feel much lighter. It's been heavy. And Pluto-Uranus to me are kind of nuclear. They're very, they're kind of like intense psychological, like overwhelming to your nervous system energy. And I feel that our nervous systems have really gone through an extreme shock. And our soul doesn't know how to adjust during a period like this well. And the body and the soul and the mind are realigning. And that's not easy. It's kind of like a car having to get the tires rotated and get the engine serviced and then go through a whole electrical system, change. So when you do that all at the same time, the car's in the shop for a long time. It's not like you just roll in and get the oil change and you're out. Human beings right now are going through an extreme upgrade and an extreme change in how to perceive this reality. So that makes it very intense, and that makes this last year that we went through very intense, because if you looked at the astrology, and I'm actually going to post my New Year's Eve report from last year, and show you with what I said this year was like, 2014 was like, and how gnarly. And I had a difficult time doing the presentation last year because I knew 2014 was going to be a wild ride. But I think that everybody has become stronger. So I think the positive is that people have really become stronger in places they never thought they were, have really awakened to positions or parts of their self that have been not revealed subconsciously for, maybe your whole life has finally come up. So the good news is that the universe has brought all the stuff up that you have to deal with. The bad news is it can be very hard to deal with and alien feeling like. And 2015 really is that cycle ending. We will have some other big cycles. We're going to have Jupiter, Neptune in a big, opposition, while Saturn squares all this. So we're going to have a big T-square this year and mutable signs with whole different planets. But this is a very temporary one compared to this long-term 3-year Pluto-Uranus square we've been through. So the good news is, I feel that 2015 is about starting to break free of, very restrictive mental, spiritual, psychological battles of self as you're breaking through to the other side. And I've done videos about this, about breaking the psychological identification of the soul to this new identity. That is an anxiety attack for the soul on itself, having to re-identify with the experience on a new earth. That is not easy. We weren't meant to understand that well. So 2015 is about that breaking point. And I'm feeling that love is going to be a bigger factor than it's been. I don't think love has been poking its head out in the best way for a while. And I feel that this is a year where love can finally find a way to come back out in 2015. So I think that there's a lot to smile about in 2015. I think that there's a lot to be excited for. But I definitely don't think the work is over. I definitely feel like this is one of the last years, the final test, because I feel that it is more 2016. We really see the full-on gauntlet, jam, like radical, restriction lifting energy. I still feel that 2015 has some checkpoints still to go through. But they're definitely easier to deal with. They're definitely not so intensely psychological. And I think it's about now a little bit more physical, a little bit more in your life, being able to navigate and feel more grounded and being able to take some more approaches to your life, opposed to kind of feeling like you don't even know where to approach. You can sometimes, in the energy we've been through, just be a little bit overwhelmed. And I feel like the overwhelming energy starts to suppress in 2015, which I think is going to be amazing. And I think because once you go through such overwhelming energy, it's that feeling of release that sometimes is the best. Sometimes just being able to be released out of something is amazing feeling. And then imagine when 2016 comes and you're able to really go full force. So you have to see that this is finally the buildup that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. And this has just been an amazing year to be the Leo King. For those that came on my retreat this year in Sedona, I appreciate it so much. I mean, I really could not have asked for a better experience this year. For everybody that came and experienced that with me, it was overwhelming. And then everybody who also came out on the tour when I toured this year, it was honestly like so great and so positive to meet people in person and to connect with everybody that came out to all the live shows. And even if you didn't come see me on a show or you didn't come to my retreat this year, I felt you. I felt you through the comments. I felt you on my Facebook page and my Twitter. And I appreciate all of the support so much. And this is such an exciting time to be alive because people are really ready to be their best self, to really use this universe the way it was supposed to be. I feel that the training wheels have been coming off for many, many centuries upon, centuries to finally get to this point for humanity to really break off the training wheels and to really go. And I feel that you have been here through many lives, many past lives to get to this point. And that this is the point where we have all wanted to. It's the 0 point if you study a lot of, esoteric knowledge, but this is it. And it's been just so great to be here with you through the experience. And I appreciate you so much. I just want you to know that I appreciate you so much. And some announcements at the end of this year is the app is going to go really strong. There's going to be some awesome new features. So if you haven't got the app, make sure you download it. So if Apple or Android, or it works on the web. So leoking.lookstack.com if you have any questions on that. And there are multiple new features coming out with that. On top of that, I'm doing another retreat, and it looks like I'm going to do the same retreat in Sedona at Enchantment Resort, because honestly, I've never felt a better energy in my life. I have never been happier in my life than I was in Sedona for that retreat. Sedona is a magical place, and from what I gather through my social media and through my YouTube channel is that a lot of people are going to come to this next one. And I'd love for you to be there. I'm putting announcements out very soon. It looks like I'm going to do it in the late spring. I'm going to do it before Saturn comes back into Scorpio. I kind of want to feel Sedona without Saturn in Scorpio. I just did it with Saturn in Scorpio, and it was powerful. But you know what? I want to prepare people for the summer, because if we want to talk about 2015, okay, June through September, going to be the most intense aspects of the year, and life change. The big ball game is this summer. It's going to feel very World Series-like. And it's funny that it is kind of during the baseball season in America. Another big announcement is I just appreciate, well, wherever it goes. I mean, I don't even know where the Leo King goes in 2015. I have my plans, I have my visions, and I usually follow them very well. But I would have never dreamed of being all over television this year and being able to do BET and E! News this year and to do all these other like Fusion and just do all these cool, new media outlets, all the radio shows I got to do. And it really has just been a dream come true. It really has. And living in Hollywood has been a wild experience. And to do all this from Hollywood, to do this in the nucleus of the media giant, which is why I'm here. And I think there's a lot of people who question if I'm a sellout. Like, I will never let my truth be sold out. But in order for this to change the world, we all want astrology out there. We all want higher spiritual consciousness. I feel like it's my duty to come out and, I don't want to say sell out, but connect to mainstream and integrate. That's my job. That's why I'm here. I'm about making this relatable and making this real. So please don't ever question if I sell out or if that I, will never bring that true depth, because that's what I came here to do. Is bring that depth and never stop it. And that's what it's all about. I know this is our time to shine. And this is time to really start to get the vision board of your life going. To get the fantasies. This is where the real work comes in. Can you really make the dream come true in your life? That's what 2015 is. It takes work, it takes dedication, and you have to go for it. You have to experience it. No longer can it just be in your belief. No longer can it just be in your imagination. You got to make it real. And I think that there's a lot of people who have the fantasy, but want to experience it in reality. And this is a year where it's going to challenge you to make that really happen. And I'm going to be here to assist you every day and bring you as much knowledge and inspiration and love that I can. So thank you all very much. It's been so special being with all of you through this experience. And I look forward to another amazing year with you, because I feel you when I'm doing my videos every day. And I mean, I would have never predicted how amazing this last year would have been for this channel and what this is bringing. But David Palmer, the guy behind the Leo King, definitely had his challenges, and I put him up there for people to see that even though I can channel the information pure and just nail things on the head, but even me as a soul has to listen to my own message and go through the same things that you're going through. And it was a challenge this year, but we got through. I got through, you got through, and guess what? In 2015, if you don't think you're gonna make it through, trust me, you are gonna totally make it through this year, as I feel that you've gone through the roughest, and it's all downhill from here. Thanks again for everything, and I will see you guys just wherever I see you. Bye.